Hello everybody, my name's John and welcome to our channel. Today we have some more RC basics and it will be on shock absorbers on the Q903. Now, this car has been used several times, mostly on the sand and the dirt, a little bit on the tarmac, and the suspension is sounding a bit rough, I'll be honest with you. Front's not so bad, rear's a bit, well, I think you can hear. Now if you see at the back on these as well, look how that flexes, look at that, that's quite a lot. But I've had this debate before and it doesn't look like it's going to break or affect performance. But what I wanted to do with the shocks is show everybody how to get them off safely, show that it's not a big deal, to show that this screw is in incredibly tight. Ooh. And I also took one of the shock absorbers off the WO Toys 144001 just to see whether it will fit on this. I don't think it will. The 144001, I believe, is a 114, is it not? And I believe this is a 116 or 18, is it not? That's something that I'm going to be adding words to in editing. And the top one. The lower one on all four of them is just a single screw. I believe it's on some sort of small ball joint. Yeah, it is on a small ball joint there as well, so we're going to have to get that off safely and carefully. The top one comes off with its ball joint again attached. Are they the same screws or are they different? No, the top one's longer. Nice one, John. Come on. Yes, top one's longer. Just turn this upside down. You can see how it's connected there is by a ball joint. There we go. That just pops off. It is a ball joint. It's not really the most effective and best one I have seen. I'm just going to put that to one side for now, so just show the shock absorbers. As I said, the ball joint comes off with it at the top. Not the best quality on the planet, I'll be honest with you, but they work and they work very well, so that's very interesting. There's no resistance from them per se. They're not fluid filled, they do not have oil in them, there's no resistance, that's just air going in and out. So I think it would be wise to upgrade these to the most basic of oil filled. Just put those on that way, make sure it fits back down properly, and that like that. So while we're here, let's see if we can get this one to fit. Now, see, the problem's going to be the bottom one has the ball joint actually on the suspension arm, and this one has the ball joint there. If I take, let's have a look. Where's my grips? I don't think these, no, it's not going to fit. My theory was if I take that off and that off I could swap them, but as you can see that's a lot thicker than the thinner one on that, so that will not work. Does anybody know if you can fill these with oil? That'd be fun, wouldn't it? However, I suspect they don't have any seals in there by how easily it's moving up and down. So I think straight away you can see that we can't fit these, because if you mount, this obviously has a ball joint, if you were to mount that further out already, you're making that whole joint here because it's further out from the arm, a lot more, you can see it will be a lot more flexible and therefore could snap here. So I don't see the point of risking that anyway. And then coming to the top, this has the ball joint in there. It's not going to fit. You can see it's quite far away from the actual arm, so you would probably have to use the spacer that comes with the WL toys. Yeah, there. Then it will fit, but that creates another problem. Come on. Is that then the suspension arm, or the suspension is mounted further out and you get even more flex there. So I think it would be worthwhile finding upgraded suspension specifically for this model, because then it should fit a little bit better. So there you go. Let's put this back together now. Put this back on the bottom arm. That's easy, isn't it? Just because I like to double check one more time. I don't want to put these screws and give you guys the wrong information. Back the wrong way. Yes, that is definitely the longer one. Goes at the top. So see how that turns. Don't tighten it too much, because you'll start to chew up inside of here. The sort of the feeling that you get is, but if I hold the nut there, then I can keep on tightening. But this nut technically doesn't have a lot to do with it, because all you'll be doing is then chewing up inside the plastic here. So avoid that temptation. You do have to hold the shock down a little bit to keep it straight. Obviously, if I didn't do that, it would be facing upwards like that, and then you could just break the mounting point. So hold it down a little bit so it's straight, and screw it into position. And then we have the little screw at the bottom. I don't think that screw does very much, because by the looks of it, the outer edge of that plastic there can just pop off the ball joint anyway. So, but I'll put it back on. Maybe it's designed to be able to pop off so that it doesn't damage it. Back together. I'm going to quickly take one of the rears off, because as you heard, it sounds awful. So I'd like to just see if there's a difference between the two. Can that pop off without taking the screw off? No, I was wrong. Actually, no, I was right, because that doesn't even have a screw. How interesting is that? Look, they're just ball joints. You don't screw it in. You just pop it onto the... Wow, there you go. Learn something new. When you're taking these off, that are quite particularly difficult ball joints, don't just bend it upwards and snap it off. Do it at an angle, so twist it as you're taking it off, and it comes off quite easily. Now, I'm holding this up to the mic. That is not running smooth. So let's take this one apart and see what's happening inside, shall we? Again, pop that one off, and then the spring is free. Take the two spacers can stay on actually. That was optimistic, wasn't it? I hate using grips on these. If you watched my video on the 144001, you saw that I messed up my shocks. Okay, John, be gentle, boy. Be very gentle. Okay, John, be a little bit harder. I want to get inside now because I want to see if there's any damage. It had to be the lower one that came off. Seriously. There we go. There's oil in here now. I'm going to look like a right plonker, aren't I? I'm going to hold it up just in case. Oh, thank God. No oil. Oh, man, that is just airfield and it's full of dust. So there's no seals there, clearly. Does anybody recommend not putting oil in, but maybe just a little bit of lubrication to help that move up and down? Because there's no seals there either, so... Let's try something. Firstly, let's get all the rubbish out. Right. Hello everybody, sorry about that. The camera had a problem, so it went off, cut off straight away. I didn't notice, unfortunately, and I progressed with a theory of mine, and I wanted to show you it because I know there's others out there that would sort of think the same as me. These are air-filled, okay? So the fronts are not very good. They're pretty bad, actually. And this is only after, what, a week of running. Now, the rears were sounding worse than the fronts, okay? But now you can hear, while still sounding bad, well, I mean, they're creaking a bit, they're a lot freer than what the fronts are. More importantly, you push the fronts down and it stays down. Let me lift that up and show you. Stays down. The rears comes back up. But what I did was I took it off and put a little bit of the grease on the inside. Not a lot, I haven't filled it, it was just put a little bit in. However, do not do that. Do not lubricate these air-filled shocks because you can imagine as that's driving along now, this is just going to be bouncing around like a kangaroo. So do not do that. That's really important that you don't do that, okay? I've done it, I've made the mistake. I now need to take these apart, wash them completely and let it dry and put it back together. That's the only way to get it back to stock. But I will not be sort of lubricating it in any way. So please don't do it. The temptation is there because you want to put a little bit of WD-40 on it, a little bit of grease just to stop that squeakiness and to get them to return. But this now makes the rears not usable. Okay, learn from my mistakes. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you'd like to subscribe, do so as well. And obviously hit that notification bell for future video alerts. Have a great day today, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.